I want to tell you today about how I learned how to delegate in my first leadership role. So, why it's so important to delegate is think about like this. When you've got a business, you start it because you want to achieve something big, some kind of big dream in the world, make the world a better place. And we can't achieve our dreams without a team. We can't get there alone. There's only so much capacity we have to be able to do everything. There comes a point where we need to trust other people to do some of the work. We need to be able to delegate. Um, and we can't just, okay, there's two extremes, right, of delegating. You've got one end where you're like, okay, here you go, here's the work, go for it, good luck. And you kind of delegate by abdication, by like, yay, now I don't have to do it anymore. Someone else can take care of it. That's one extreme. The other extreme is like, here, you're going to do this job, but do it this way and make sure this happens. And are you doing that? How's it going? How's it going? And you're like checking, looking over their shoulder. That's not delegating as well. That's called micromanaging. So delegating is somewhere in the middle where you empower your team to be able to take on the task, to take ownership of the task, because ownership is something that is a key factor in job satisfaction. Like people need to know that they own part of the task, so or the whole task. So you're delegating the responsibility and the ownership, but you're also maintaining control of this is the outcome that I want. This is what I want it to look like. These are the expectations, but you're not hovering like a helicopter parent, and you're not like saying this is the steps. Maybe sometimes there's steps, but it's not like this is how you do it. If someone has a better way of doing it that gets the same outcome that you've set, then that's a great way of doing it. Because part of the delegating is you've got to understand that not everyone is going to do it the same way you would do it, and maybe not even to the exact same quality, because truth be told, as business owners, we tend to be perfectionists. And we probably can stand to like accept slightly under our definition of perfect for the quality of, that we're willing to accept from our staff. Because if we don't accept that, it's going to be a little bit less than we would do it ourselves, we're never going to be able to grow past our own capacity. We have to learn to delegate and accept other people and empower other people to be able to achieve these dreams we had in our business. Now, I want to tell you how I learned about this in my first job. So it's my first leadership role. So worked at Red Rooster, which is yum. It's one of our favorite places in Australia. So I worked there in high school, and I did the cashier for a couple of years, and I learned about the kitchen work. And then as soon as I turned 18, I had another job when I was 17. But when I turned 18, they're like, "Hey, Kat, come be our assistant store manager." So I was like, "Okay." So I went back and worked with them for another year or so, year and a half before I went traveling overseas. So in that role, I was really good because I knew all the cashier stuff, I knew all the kitchen stuff, and I was doing all these things, and I learned about like doing the money and the reconciliation, the stock ordering, all that kind of stuff. Like, and so I was like really busy doing all the stuff. And I am forever grateful to the manager that I had at the time who taught me a few things, but this one stood out to me a lot. He said, and I'm sure you've heard this before, he said, work smarter, not harder. And to me, that was the first time I'd heard it. And I was like, sounds great. What does it mean? So, what I learned for myself, instead of me doing all the things and being really good at it, taking pride in how good I could get it done, how quickly I get it done, and my speed, my job now became to empower the team to do the things. So, for me, that was making a big list of all the things that we had to do. And I'd be like, right, Joe, you're doing these things. Chris, you're doing those things. Steph, you're doing these things here. And my job became not to like taskmaster tick off, but like as a team, these are the things that we need to do. I was the one who had the visibility and the oversight over how the store needed to be run and the things that we needed to do to achieve the goals of serving our customers and meeting our deadlines and things like that. And I would make sure that people knew what their role was and how they could do it best, and be a problem solver as well. So like, oh, so Chris finished early. Great. Can you come and help Steph with this part of the task because she hasn't finished yet? And that was a really great lesson that I learned about how to delegate, because it was no longer about me being the expert and being the one who was the best at everything and the one who had to do all the work. And being a leader didn't mean I was just busy doing other high value work. My role as a leader now became actually managing the whole picture, the big picture, like seeing all like the puppet master, like seeing all the things that play out. And I was the one who could get rid of roadblocks and solve problems for people and help shuffle things around to make it the best outcome for everyone. And everyone just had to worry about their own part of the job and be really good at that part of the job. And that really helped me. So that is something that when it comes to being a leader, that no one really teaches us, that it's not it's no longer about being the best at the job. It's about enabling other people to be the best at the job. So if you're someone who thinks, oh, I'm no good at delegating or I can't delegate, it's probably because you're hovering towards one of those extremes, like delegating and then losing control completely of how it gets done and then worrying about quality, or being so worried about it that you're hovering too much and then making that person feel really uncomfortable and unempowered. So there is a middle ground. And if you think you're not someone who's good at delegating, you probably just haven't learned how yet. And so that's some of the things that I can help you with. And hopefully this video has been something that can help you learn how to delegate better. So best of luck, because I hope you achieve your dreams, and you need to be able to delegate to achieve your dreams.